record this process? We are recording. And if I have to move, we can. I don't know if there's a zoom.
There's a zoom, wide and tight.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And if you need to, you might want to narrate from here so that the mic will pick it up.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're only going to hear this.
Okay. It's a really scientific. Wait, it's a dolly. A really rudimentary dolly. So we've got the valves. I'm so tight I can't move the camera. And the chart recorder.
Loosen this side a little bit. We can get that level.
Yeah, I also want it to be able to rotate.
That should be.
There we go. There we go. There we go. So,
Do you want that so it tilts up and down?
yeah,
Okay, then we need to pause the recording for a second.
we're just going to start over. Record this process. We are recording. And if I have to move, we can. I don't know if there's a zoom.
There's a zoom, wide and tight.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And if you need to, you might want to narrate from here so that the mic will pick it up.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're only going to hear this.
Okay. It's a really scientific. Wait, it's a dolly. A really rudimentary dolly. So we've got the valves. I'm so tight I can't move the camera. And the chart recorder.
Loosen this side a little bit. We can get that level.
Yeah, I also want it to be able to rotate.
That should be.
There we go. There we go. There we go. So,
Do you want that so it tilts up and down?
yeah,
Okay, then we need to pause the recording for a second.
we're just going to start over.
Now we're live.
Now we're live. Live with Bob Harrington in the student kitchen.
Good morning and welcome to Bob's Locker Room. Today we're assembling for the HTST class the flow diversion valves. We'll start with our flow diversion valve model. We'll also start with the recorder. The yellow cord from the recorder, or STLR as the professionals call it, gets plugged into the recorder or to the flow diversion valves. There's sometimes going to be a chore. Alignment is difficult. There is a retaining nut that needs to be screwed in. The valves run, or the recorder runs on 110 volt AC. This runs on 110 volt AC. One of the issues that we have with this particular setup is the fact that it does not work well in a ground fault. So almost all the 15 amp circuits in here are ground faulted, which pops. We soon discovered that if we move the freezer over, we have an area that we can plug into.
Freezer.
The freezer. So we very gently move the freezer ahead slightly. Move our extension cord in. And for safety, as much as we can be safe, move that around the back. That will power our recorder, power the power supply to the flow diversion device control box.
Great. And one cord powers.
One cord will power this equipment.
Okay.
Another cord will power the circulating water heater.
Okay.
And I do need to cross the camera. Power from behind the freezer to the power strip. Power. Orange cord goes to the flow diversion device control box. There's another cord here that powers the recorder. You might notice that we're using adapters so that the grounds don't interfere. If we take these out, odds are good that the system won't work properly for us. This is definitely not something you boys and girls want to try at home.
Got it.
As you can see, the recorder is powered. The FDD flow diversion device will not be powered, or is powered, but will not operate until we get some air pressure into the system. This is the regulator that provides up to 80 pounds of air from our tanks into the flow diversion device. There's an air chuck on the side. Put the female end of the air chuck and to the flow diversion device control panel. This regulator plugs into the air tanks. The air compressor, because they won't let us use natural gas to power this with, we use the air compressor. Because it's noisy, we have to take this outside and plug it in. Once that's charged, take our air tanks using the Harrington modification for the air supply. We fill the tanks. There's 2 tanks. Initially, we fill them both, bring one in. When this discharges, then we go get the other one and keep them rotated that way. The other
How much air do we need in the tank spot?
120 pounds.
120 pounds per tank.
120 pounds per tank. That's correct. Slippery. Excuse me. We have a state-of-the-art circulating water heater that will control our temperature for the water bath at approximately 165 to 168 degrees. The cut-in temperature for the recorder is at 163 degrees. We want a little headroom, so we bump the temperature up.
So at least 163, at least.
These pails represent the balance tank. Pasteurization system. Fill this balance tank with water.
And temperature
About
doesn't
3/4 mark.
okay. And temperature doesn't matter.
Pardon?
Temperature doesn't matter. The water.
Temperature doesn't matter because we'll be
Got the heater.
heating it here.
3/4 full. Water temperature not important. Got it. David Attenborough, I am not. And here we see the Bob in his natural environment.
Water level in the bucket or the balance tank is very important. If it gets too low, we risk burning the element on the heater out. If it's too high, it'll splash out and possibly ruin the heater. Cover is here to just maintain water level, otherwise we get a lot of evaporation. Make sure to secure the heater to the bucket. This gets plugged in at one of the 110 volt outlets. And I do need another short extension cord. I'll use this. Plug the heater in. The heater at this point is operational, which tells us we do have correct power supply to the heater. Our next function is to set up the timing and the booster pump. We can simulate that with our 2 butter churns.
Do you need a hand?
No, I just have to. Should have done this before we started filming.
It's okay.
Timing pump A is the large butter churn. We fill that halfway with water. We fill it with water mainly as a demonstration so students can actually see the motion. Timing pump is then plugged into one of the cords in the back of the recorder or STLR. It's labeled timing pump. The booster pump is a smaller butter churn. Fill the booster pump with water to the halfway mark. Assemble the pump. The cord from this pump goes into the yellow fitting marked booster pump. Something's wrong because that should not be running. So rather than panic, we have to look at the position of our switches. So we're in the product mode. Product mode dictates that the booster pump cannot run until we're up to temperature in our water bath. And there's an air supply to this. So.
Whereas it's set to CIP?
It was set to CIP. CIP negates all the public health controls. And that's part of its function to give more speed, more pressure to be able to clean the system adequately. Everything's plugged in and ready to go. Our water's heating up. We'll get some air, and you can pause this while we're waiting.
Yes.
When plugging this in, as our little friends with the stingers like to hide and build their nest under here. We drain the water out of the tank, so it's important when we plug it in for the next session to screw the valve back in so that we can actually build an air supply. I'll get the other tank. So we're going to fill this tank using the Well, first we have to connect the hose.
Oh, compressed air.
And then use the female end to the male end of the Harrington Harbor Freight modification. Open the valve, the tank will fill, the compressor will come on. It's important to observe the gauge on the air tank. As it goes, we should be right near the 120 mark. We always test drive the system the day before because once in a while we have some what I believe are moisture issues in the system. Seems like they straighten themselves out after we use it for a while. You might want to consider through U-line or somewhere getting some desiccant put in.
Inside what?
Inside the flow diversion valve panel, flow diversion device panel.
Like the electrical thing.
I'm not at all sure that's the whole issue, but it may be. When the pressure in the compressor and the pressure in the tank equalize, the compressor will shut off.
So right now it pretends that it's a giant thing.
Yep. It's almost that exciting, except for nice setup. Great setup. This is nice setup. There are some issues with safety that we need to be concerned about. There's a lot of traffic through this area, so normally I would have the compressor sitting over to the right some more and cord behind the barrels, the hose wound up so that we didn't have a tripping hazard for students and faculty coming in and out. That becomes more important the older you get.
drive me nuts.
Replace the air tank back here where it's out of people's way. So we're going to take the regulator, plug it into the air tank. Regulator's preset at about 80 pounds.
All right.
Now, to test it, confirm that everything is operational. Place our sensing probe in the water. You'll note that the water is only 128 degrees. We've set the temperature for 170, so it has a little while to go yet. One of the things I do first thing in the morning on demonstration day is to come in early, heat the water up, make sure that everything is ready to go. I run the system once.
All right, are we set up for the day?
We're set up for the day other than when it kicks on. One thing you should note, the top of the valve have lights. The lights in the divert flow position are green. When we energize that with the water temperature in the air, those will turn yellow.
Can't write an SOP if I don't have the steps.
These steps can be done in any order.
Okay.
So right now, this is reflective of the thermocouple's reading.
Oh, the thermocouple's reading.
It's going to hit 170, and at 162, this will kick in.
That will kick in at 163.
Okay.
162 is the cutout temperature.
Gotcha.
on the ABB recorders. So there's a hysteresis built in of 1 degree.
Got
so
it.
at 163, give or take a tenth or so,
That's when it starts recording.
that will, well, it's always recording.
As long as it's plugged in.
Yeah. But 163 is a temperature where the recorder will sense that temperature and say, hey, valves,
So
okay
it's
for
got a
you.
solenoid that opens up then.
Yeah,
Okay.
it tells that solenoid to
Okay.
open up and open the valves. The valves are fail-safe in that the spring closes them in the event that you lose an air supply or you lose electrical power.
It's like a baso valve.
Pretty cool.
So you should never stick your fingers in.
Unless you want to count to 9.
And even then, you might get lucky and get a couple.
Oh,
So it's even that way. The valves with the air changed into the forward flow position, and the lights are green. And we had no power failure. Drop down one and force all them up. This one will open, force all them up to the back of the balance tank.
Which explains why it starts yellow while it's still in green. It's got to push. Okay.
Everybody else's are just the opposite. But this
Otherwise?
one- yeah.
setting up now.
We are setting up the cut in and cut out
Fantastic.
right now. Need to make sure we have plenty enough water because there'll be evaporation throughout the day.
Yeah, I just think it's going to attach better. Well, we fixed that up, didn't we?
That should work wonderfully. Of course, there is an unattached cord with the heater that we need to be careful to make sure that we keep it intact and also keep it with the heater. This is a recorder that we do the cut in and cut out and thermetric response on. OBB Commander 1900. This is the recorder that we use for the flow. Cut in, or the flow cut in and flow cut out, and there's some other work that we have to do with that.
Okay.
No sort of stand for this, so
Okay.
it's in this upright position.
Okay.
Lay it like that until we come up with something. This is a DART, or digital reference thermometer. And that will be used in determining the cut in and cut out. So that should be down here. Plug in our equipment. There's a ground fault to plug in. The ABB recorder, the DART, and AJ300 for the flow.
A stopgap.
Maybe. This box, a walkie-talkie for the electrical interference test.
It's my favorite one, by the way.
Let's see if it comes on. It does. Very expensive piece of equipment that needs a lot of care is a signal generator.
Okay.
And we use that for the flow recorder.
gonna write an SOP and have to do all this stuff, so this is the easiest way for me to write an SOP.
Sure. I was just gonna say, I wish we had some ABB screwdrivers, but we do.
You do.
We don't have those anymore.
We don't?
No, we got some generic flathead screwdrivers.
Boring.
We have nice mini mag lights though.
Yeah. With ABB on them? Oh. I was saying the other day, we should get some ABB mini mag lights. Wasn't I saying that?
You were, Bob. I hear you say that often.
This takes a lot of batteries.
How often do we replace those batteries, or how many workshops can you get out of one set of batteries?
We've been replacing them each time. I'm not doing that this time. The usage isn't very long on this, so I suspect that we can get a long time. The key thing is to make sure at the end of every workshop, before we put things away, that we take these batteries out.
Good for me to know. So at the beginning of every calendar year, I should buy enough 9-volt batteries to do every HTST in a year. Just so we have them in the kit.
I really don't think
We're getting a couple years out of them. Now that one goes.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I was just testing you, Grant. I'm glad you found that out.
Got it.
And again, what's the thing to remember with this? Camera. What's this? What do we have to remember about this?
That it's very expensive and must be handled with care.
And at the end of every workshop,
We remove
have
all of
to,
the batteries.
There we go.
I am listening.
And it works.
Fantastic.
Connections are made right here. And our water bath is operating.
We have a bigger bucket.
That. But it doesn't attach very well to that because it's square.
We got this bucket. I'm afraid it'll tip in. Need more water.
Bigger bucket than this a couple times. But we have a smaller.
And we use this just to demonstrate what a flow meter looks like,
Right.
including the interior, which is lined with Teflon. There's 2 pins that come through. One of the things we try to remember to do is put the caps that are on the pens aside, perhaps in the recorder itself, and the biggest thing we have to remember is to put them back on when we're done with the class. That extends the life of the pen for many, many sessions.
This will dry out each session.